Hello, my lovely spectators. Didi here. Welcome to my studio. I should be moving this. Anyway, okay, so this video is coming out May 1st. It is coming out later in the day than when I usually post because life. Anyway, let me try to make this as quick as possible, but you know me, I'm gonna rattle on. May 1st, March Mass Make is over. April ABC April is over. And I'm still though in my 100-day project. So, don't know where I put my calendar. Now I'm looking around. 60 something, okay, is today. Now, throughout the course of this time frame since March 1st until now, I've gained a number of subscribers, which has been awesome. And I've joined a number of different challenges. I've done a lot of different, the mask making, right? The Roxy's challenge, the Lori Piles of paragraph. I am starting the Tattered Paper Doll Society. Just so much. And if you have seen other videos prior to March, I kind of always mass make because I feel like you cut into paper, you kind of got to do. Back when I started the first to this particular channel, because I have others, it was April 1st last year. So in a year's time, I'm at to about 372-ish as of today's video, which fluctuates because I don't know what YouTube does, but anyway. So I'm kind of happy because I had initially said at the beginning of my 100-day project that I wanted you guys to join me and to help me my channel grow. And I wanted to reach by my birthday 300 subscribers. Well, obviously I've surpassed that. So the next goal is going to be, and I surpassed it way before my birthday, which was like crazy. The next goal is going to be 500. So what am I wanting to do for that? What is my deadline going to be? Well, like I said, I'm at 372 and I have about 30 days left. Could I possibly get 100 and something subscribers in 30 days? Maybe. Is that gonna? I don't think so. So I'm not gonna do myself some kind of crazy goal like that. So I'm a teacher. So in New York, and we end our school year in June, the end of June. So the next session of videos is gonna be me while I'm actually teaching during the week and recording on the weekends and editing and like kind of, you know, setting up some kind of filming schedule. That said, there's no challenge specific to May. So I'm still going to be doing all those challenges and I'm going to try to rejigger it and to fit in here. But there is one thing that I am going to do for May on Fridays, besides a flip through if I have something to, you know, flip through for Gwen, the trash, which is, you know, flip through Friday. Which I think I have already a few, is going to be Fridays to bring you finding my floor. So finding my floor is an initiative, right? A challenge, a way of thinking, right? Based on having authentic classroom, not classroom. God, I went back to work today, so my classroom, authentic craft room, you know, realities. You know, if you do a tour, like the mess is there. We all know it's messy. It doesn't have to be picture perfect. Not everybody has IKEA furniture, blah, 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 blah. As you know, my studio, when I make that little joke, is because I'm sitting in the living room on a desk and you know, this is pretty much all the space, you know, and I have a ton of crap all around me. So in May, I want to get this kind of situated so that in the summertime, hopefully I will be getting my official space. So Fridays for May is going to be finding my floor, and we're going to be doing and looking at some of the ways I'm trying to organize things, right? I know this is a long intro. I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these. But speaking back to my channel, I want to reach 500. So I think I want to do it before the school year ends. And so that would be the end of June. So I'm thinking Independence Day. So if I can reach 500, hopefully by Independence Day, July 4th, right? I want to do a giveaway, right? So what I want to give away, and maybe you want or maybe you don't, I don't know, is all this stuff that I've been making. I've enjoyed it, and I've collecting and we're hoarding and whatever. And so a lot of you have been really super responsive to me. So what I want to do is I want to put together 5 packages for 5 people that is going to be heavy mail. It's going to be things that you've seen me create on the channel, as well as some stuff that I've hauled, and I have a video that has to go up in a few days that has to do with some hauls that I've done, and other little random goodies that I have in my house that I never maybe even showed you guys. So that's what I'm announcing today. So this is why the intro is so long, but we're going to get to the crafting with the first finding my floor thing, which is going to be using these, right, in my thoughts. So this is the announcement. 500 subscribers by July 4th. When I hit 500, if it's before July 4th, maybe I'll up the game and add it to 10 people that get a happy mail. But I'll announce it, and then it'll be those who comment on the announcement videos that, yay, 500! And then I will do a random picker of said people. Okay? Anyway, long story, whatever. So, finding my floor today, which is Friday, for me, for May, these are file folders. These are specifically hanging file folders. And I was like looking at the entirety of everything that I have. And after we do this, you're going to see, it's going to be a little bit of a longish video. You're going to see some of the things that I'm going to be putting in here once I've done this. So let me talk about why. Because, you know, we all want to have the little bins, and we want to have all of the ephemera together and stuff like that. And, it looks fun, and you see it, people's things. Like when I first started getting into it, I bought a bunch of like cigar boxes. They're on hold right now. I will be using them, but they're not functional for the amount of space that I have right now. But with the amount of things that I've created, right, I need to be able to store them, be able to access them, be able to know what's inside, what I have, and put together packets for Etsy, add ephemera to journals for the, you know, I'm gonna do a lot of stuff. So May is gonna be about me getting my together. So May is about me, and Fridays is finding my floor. So again, this is initiative from Cindy at Scrap Brat and Candy at Candy's Crafty Creations. So thank you, my dears, for encouraging this, you know, transparency. Okay, so I have a bunch of these. I was able to actually today, literally on my way home, pick up these file folders of regular size. Are so expensive. These happen to be legal size, and what I want to do is I need to create a system to store all of this ephemera that I've been making. Now, would I love to have bins and bins where everything looks beautiful on a shelf? Yes, just not my situation right now, but I need access. So this rainbow of green, we're going to make what I hope is my solution. So what are the types of things we're going to have to kind of store? Well, we need to store tags, right? So I need, you know, a hanging folder for tags. I don't have 2 of these really brown ones, so I maybe, do I want to be matchy? No, I don't have to be matchy. So 2 of these will be for tags. What else do I need to store? Well, belly bands. If I create belly bands, right? 2 of those. Okay? Yes, I know I'm going for the green. Journaling cards. Okay? Right? Journal spots. So we've got tags. We've got journaling. We've got belly bands and tucks, right? Because we don't need 2 for belly bands. Belly bands, tucks. So things that will glue on the page and be able to put things behind, right? Pockets, right? Not just any pocket, but like maybe pocket tags, right? So tags that have pockets on them, things like that. So what else do we have? I don't know, because I'm gotta look and see what are the things that I made, right? Clusters, right? Just generic clusters that are a little decorative, whatever, on the thing. Dangles, paper clips, hidden paper clips, whatever. Let's make a folder for that. And so forth and so forth. So how many do we have so far? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's make a 10th one because I have enough space and paper for 10. So what I was thinking to do is this number 10? Did I lose track? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, artichoke. Okay, so, and you see that this is like the papers that I was using for samples and things of that nature. So therefore, we're gonna use our Less Love Kind of Loud. I'm done with it. I've used it enough times. One of these file folders, right? They're all the same size. They're all the same height. One of these file folders, width-wise, legal size, is 12. 12. Let's see. 12. Probably somewhere around 15 inches ish, right? And also from the bottom to the top of this line is about 9. So these are going to go in these bins that I've purchased from Staples. Okay, they're file boxes. They're plastic. They have in different colors, like a clearish color, a little bit frosted, a gray where you can still see, and then a black. So I have certain things in them so that I can, you know, see, like ephemera and stuff will go in the clear ones. Things that I'm selling will go in the gray ones. And if I have been collecting and buying and stuff like that from, you know, I'm again just talking when I should be talking and working, that I've collected and whatnot from shopping with Rachel at Roxy's Creation, or Wendy over on Instagram and all of that good stuff. So those things that have true vintage age, they're gonna have their own boxes, and they're gonna be black so that there's not a lot of light hitting them. Like, I don't know if that matters, but in my brain, that mattered. Where's my trimmer? Okay. So, this says, ooh, crap avalanche. So, this idea is that I need to have a way to store these pieces of ephemera. The ones that I'm keeping to then be utilized later, right? I also want to have an idea book, which is another aspect that I need to kind of start as well, because I want to save at least one that I know is not going to go anywhere of the things that I've created, so that way I have a record of my creativity, and if anything's really super duper interesting. So I had 10 of those, so we need 10 pieces of paper. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this into 4 quadrants, 4 pieces, right? We're going to cut down by 6, and then we're going to turn and cut again by 6. So what I want to do is I want to be able to attach and make pockets, basically, in order to store my ephemera, right? I don't just want to throw it in a bag like I might have already, or a box like I might have already, and just have it like hanging out there. I want to have it, you know, nicely placed. It's not shuffling around. It's been given some, how would you call it, recognition that it's important. You know, I made it, and it's, you know, it's not trash. It's important. It was important for me to make it during my mental health, and it's important for me to have it in case I want to put it in a journal or want to send it for Happy Mail. It should be in good condition, pristine condition. You know, we're not trying to send anything like all jacked up. So right now I'm gonna start out with the 6x6, right? So for me, the 6x6 is definitely going to be good for those tags that are long, right? It's going to be good for belly bands. It's going to be good for longer things. That makes no sense, but I said it. Belly bands, whatever. So I might have cut a little bit too many, but we can do that. So we're going to have 2. So I did 2 pieces of paper so far. So for tags, I'm going to leave them this length. I can adjust later. If I want to do something that's a little smaller, like journaling cards 4x6, well, I'm going to do very similar. I'm going to cut this down to 4. Okay. Okay, we're gonna cut this down to 4. I'm winging it. We're gonna see if this works out. We're gonna figure it out together. And then this to 4, and then again to 6. Right? So the 6 is gonna be a consistent, and I'll show you why. That the height is gonna be relative based upon what the items are that you're gonna be putting into storage. Okay. So I think that's good. And you know what? Just for argument's sake, why not? Let's cut one that is 3 inches, right? So again, we still need the 6. Okay. And then from here, we have our 6. We're going to do 3. Okay, so we're going to see what those look like, and I'll show you what it is that I'm doing. Now, these are going to be pockets. They're going to be plain old pockets, nothing special about them. You can add gusset, make them more gusseted and stuff like that. It depends on what it is that you want to store. Me, I'm just going to leave them as good old pockets. Okay, flat as they go, just like if I was in a journal. So here's my file folder. Right, so let's just do tag 1. Tag it. So most of the tags that are on the size are like 3x5 or 4x8, right? Or 3x6. Depends on what your usual ratio is. I tend to do like 4x6. I tend to do 4x8. I tend to do 3x6 and like 2.5x5. Like the half, you know, half this height and stuff like that. So these are going to be good for any tag that is 8 tall. 6 is kind of eh. So you know what? Let's make these guys for the really tall tags. So we're just gonna put that's gonna be super cool tall tags. And then let's cut this guy down to something smaller. So we have a 4 and a 2. We've got 3s already. Let's do a 4 and a 2 so we have variety and we can see what actually works out. So we're going to get 4 pieces of 4x6 and 4 pieces of 2x6. Okay. Then we have our 3x6s and our 4x6s some more. Okay. And we're just going to plop them in there and we're going to see. So what I want is we're going to open up our hanging folder. And I can still see the main score line. Okay. What I want to do is I want to attach 6 across. I want to attach one here. Let's not go all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to use that first line as a reference. And I'm going to attach one here. Okay. Now there's a lot of space that's like whatever. Open space, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to go with that. I'm just going to take good old art glitter glue. I would not use tape because tape doesn't dry. And so if you put tape on the outside, the inside, you're going to have a pocket where you slip things in and the tape doesn't dry. Hashtag learn from my mistakes. Do what I say, not what I do. Whatever. So I'm going to put them like this. So we're going to put glue on. Oh, what the hell? What the heck? Oh my God. The ball came. No. Let me get my tool. Let me get my little tool, my dollar store pliers. Pull this guy out. Oh, there we go. Oh my God. I think, you know what? I think that's also like one of the official pins, which are like $6. Let me tell you, listen. If you know what the gauge is of this pin, right? Then please share it. Because I have purchased so many pins that are supposedly this gauge, that gauge, and you know they look super fine, and I'm just guessing, and they're either too thin or they're too thick and they don't go through. This sucker is like, how do you call it? Hidden information. It's nowhere to be found. But if somebody has done the work, please share, because the whole thing is that the stainless steel, and then you buy stainless steel from like, you know, even Joann's or like Michael's, and you get pins that are, they tarnish. These don't for some reason. But why can't we just buy our own stainless steel? What is this gauge? Rant over. So we're gonna do this. So basically, this is a way for us to be able to store these items when we don't have them on boxes, right? And so we need to have a place to put them. You know, in a good sized pocket, you could put, you know, several, what's the word? Several tags, right? So we're going to, let's see here, go up to that line right there, over here. Here. And I'm kind of trying to give like an inch maybe. Is that an inch or so? Yeah, it's about an inch from this. I could mark it with a pen and all that good stuff, right? And I'm going to have that glued there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay? So Facebook Marketplace is, you know, besides thrifting, right? Facebook Marketplace is an awesome place that you can buy things from people, vintage, da, 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 da. You can negotiate. I've gotten some stuff. Maybe I've overpriced, but I felt good about my prices so far. I always throw an offer in. You know, you gotta haggle, right? So, you know, it works out and stuff like that. So so these hanging file folders, even though they're legal, I was like, I wanted the regular ones, but then I was like, no, these boxes handle legal. Oh, did I insert a picture? I'm not sure. Hopefully I did. If not, now would be the time. So here we have 2 pockets on this side. Whoopsie. And 2 pockets on this side. So we're going to do the same thing over here. And so in a pocket this big, which is 6 by 6, right? I mean, you could probably, I don't know, probably put a good 5 or 6 tags, depending upon how thick the embellishments are, in here. And that way they're being, you know, stored, they're protected, etc. Probably more if you're just putting bases. So it doesn't have to be only already made ephemera. It could be stuff that is waiting to be made, the to-do box, right? So you can take a whole set of these, make them for the different types and shapes of things that you normally cut up your masterboards, right? And then you want to have a to-do day, you open up that box, you take out what you want to work on. So yes, I'm going to be adding a tab over here. They came with all of these. So what did people store? Sands Point, I don't know what that's about. St. James. This broke, but that's okay. It'll still work, but I don't have to use them all. Vintage, it's got tarnished, whatever. So I will just, you know, put something on top that says tall tags, right? 6 by 8, whatever. And then I can store all of these tall tags. So now, let's just for funsies, let's pretend these are tags that are not done yet. We're going to be able to stick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, look, 10. So we got 10 bases in there already. Of course, I didn't stick them all the way to the bottom because they're not that long. But in terms of this width, definitely. And then here's the other thing. If they're decorated and they are thematic, then what you can do is on here, so here you have your thing, it says tall tags, decorated, you know, whatever. You open it up and you have, oh, botanicals, anything in here is a botanical. Oh, steampunk, anything's under here is steampunk. Oh, whimsical. Oh, grungy. So this is my thought about making a system in order to kind of, you know, find a way to store my tags, right? And then, you know, it'll be like that. So I may need to maybe adjust, who knows, in the future. It depends. Maybe I need to go one more up, but I was worried about the height over here versus the thickness, because you know what? They could stick like this. They're not going to stick up that much because it's limited by the pocket, right? And here's the other thing. You know what? This was a 6 by 6. We had this 2 by 6. Guess what? I could stick another pocket and add another set of tags, right? I could do this and put more tags behind there. I could do this, so cute. I could do this and it could say botanicals, do it like a belly band and stick more tags. So it has it's open for all kinds of goodness and goodies. So I'm gonna do a bunch of these, right? And I'm gonna set them up. I'm not gonna label anything right now, but I'm gonna set them up fun way. So you know what, I might even do that. I might even just take and cut down some of these guys so that I actually can have, you know, a label. I don't, I'm not mad at that. I kind of like that idea. So for the tall tag ones, oh, they're in here. I'm like, where's that other one? For the tall tag ones, maybe I'm wrong. It's not in here. Woo, somebody bait and switch me. Oh my goodness. Come on, chica. Oh, two of these together. So yeah, so I might do, you know, I might, depending on the handwriting, I might do botanical in my own handwriting because I'm going to look at it. But if you're going to show it on screen and you feel like some kind of way, then make a label, you know, type a whole bunch of things up that you know are going to be belly bands that can be cut at 6 and pre-planned, right? But we're just doing it off the cuff. So we're going to have these little belly bands and we're going to put what they are for. So you know what? I'm just gonna do it anyway, because you know that way you know, so you're gonna believe me. I am going to have that because it's just like a revelation that came as I was talking to you. Isn't that fabulous when you have people and you can talk to them and throw them on your ideas, and as you just like verbally da 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 da, even though you're not talking back to me, well, you could be. That's in the privacy of your own home. You, you could be like, hey girl, check it out, chill out. But it's, you know, that how, oh, I gotta keep on talking, make sure it's clear and whatever, especially for, you know, the teacher side of me, constantly having to repeat myself in the classroom. So yeah, so we're gonna have some of these long ones. So I think I'm gonna do another set of long ones with the belly bands. Then I'm gonna downsize so that I can hold the smaller tags that are more what do you call it, 3x6, so I'm gonna need a different size. And you know, again, it's a work in progress because I'm already thinking, well, you know, what if I, you know what kind of tag, I didn't even finish the thought, like I'm talking to myself in my head. You know, you're like, oh, but if I'm gonna have, you know, so many different bins, so many different folders with different size tags, you know, I'm not really seeing the everything in the all. But you know what, you know what kind of tag you want to put. You know where your pocket is and how big it is, and the scope of how you're doing your journals and stuff like that. You know, trust me. So you know if you want a big tag or if you just want a standard tag, right? So it's like large tags, standard tags, smaller tags. Those are the three categories. So we have our large tags, right? Then I could have large tag decorated, large tag not decorated. Right now, it's all going to be decorated for the moment because I'm trying to organize the ephemera that I have been making with you guys since the beginning of March. Anyway, that's what the make is about today. I'm going to do them. I'm going to come back and we're going to see them in action. So please come, well, stay because it's going to be an instant for you. All right, let me go do this and I'll be back so we can actually put them in use. So we're back with some of these set up. Let me just show you quickly some of the things that I did. So I have one of these little printers here. Find them anywhere, Temu, anywhere, it doesn't matter. I give myself notes so I don't mess up the tape. But basically it connects to my printer and it connects to my phone. And I can print out my labels and stuff like that. So I just started randomly thinking about all the things that I've been creating. And then I started sticking them onto these tabs, some other tabs, and then I ran out of tabs because I didn't pull the whole stash. But let me just show you a quick little flip through. I kind of was thinking about what would be what, and again, depends as I start filling these up, tabs may change. So I have one for like handmade envelopes that I have to decorate. So, you know, we may sit there and make the envelopes. So I've got pockets for those type of things that are in my stash. Okay. I have pre-made bags and sacks that need to be decorated. So I have both a pocket and like a slip through here. I showed you this one and I think I was thinking about for tags. So I'm not quite sure what style I like. The bigger pockets can be used for multiple things. And it goes for, I made a bunch of different shapes. So for me, if I have like the max tags, like 2.5 to 5 inches, then I can stack them. Then I started stacking pockets and stuff. So the depth in here is going to be about 5 inches. There is a little bit overlap, right? And then I can get in another 5 inch and still have it peek out. Just different configurations because, not sticking myself to just one type of thing. This is tags 4x8 that need to be decorated. So I have some of those. I started putting labels and stuff, and when I made the pockets, it didn't make sense for certain things. Here I can do tags that are like 3x6, so I have different levels, and then I can also, see a little bit more of it. So changing it up because, like I told you, this is an idea of mine because of my situation in terms of like how do I store my ephemera that I've been making. Because right now, guys, it's like a hot mess. Let me show you, and then we will actually put some things into place, and talk about the little things that I have here. So, if you're following the channel, you know that I am like into a lot of different little things. I don't know why I'm putting that so far away. Where is it? So I have like these things, right? I make for challenges, and I've been keeping them with the challenges and stuff like that. So I had made these for I believe these were for my brain is not braining. I think this was for Crafty Cat. You had to use some puzzle piece, I think, or puzzle or something like that. And rust over here, I forget exactly what. Oh, time card. There's a time card in here that you had to use. So this actually has an element in there and whatnot. So I had made these, and I forgot what the other thing was for. So that's the other thing, like what was the function, where was it from? I have the papers because I was going to be working on my calendar. Like I said, May is going to be about making things work for me, making the mess more manageable, all the alliterations of M's that I could think of. So, for example, this is a pocket, right? An envelope rather, that has been already decorated. So let's see, did I put one of these? So my idea is that I'm gonna just have these in a box, right? And I'm gonna say, oh, handmade envelopes to be decorated, pre-made bags. So I might have not picked the right one to like whatever, but journal cards, Betty Bands, and no. So I don't have one necessarily for this, or dangles. Hello, duh. So right now, this is what I'm saying. This is going in here, and then this is going in there, and I have little bags of all these goodies that I've been making, and then when I come down to like needing something, it's like I forget about things, right? So I need to stop this. I need to stop this. Here's another, the struggle of everything sliding. Here's another one of these things, right, that I have. These are tags. So this is the Piles of Paragraphs with Lori tags. So she does the thing every month. She has a specific prompt, and then last year she did it. So I was doing like both, right? So here we go. I have tags. So it was butterfly tree. I don't remember. But again, that's what I'm saying. So do I put this in the ephemera? Do I put this as my idea? I mean, I know, I have the videos. I can always access my ideas. I know I have a friend of mine who does paper crafting as well, of course. And she does a lot of cards. And when she makes a card, she will take a little photo of the card and like put it in a binder. So she doesn't necessarily keep the card. She uses the card and she sends it on its way. So like I have Whimsy, but I have them in 3 different sizes, right? They're not going to all go in the same journal, right? Corrugated cardboard. So what I want to do is I want to take out, let's see here, tags, right? So I have a 3x6-ish tag size, right? And then I have a 4x6 tag, 4x8, which is a big tag. So I have a large, medium, and small. And then I have these guys, right, which is the 2.5 by 5-ish, right? Because I think those are the standard sizes, but I might be wrong, so we'll look at that right now. So what I would do is, okay, so all of my large tags, Now again, this doesn't work with me having an idea book, so I'm kind of like on the fence. I want to kind of do both things, you know, but if I've only done a challenge and I've only done one of a card, where would you put it? So right now, I mean, I don't have to have a separate idea book, but if you have this and you're using it to like use, then guess what? You're going to wind up running out of things. So I would come in here and I would stick this tag. Is this a 4x8 tag? This might be bigger. It is 4x8. Why is it not going through? Maybe I've got it on the wrong, yeah, this is the wrong pocket situation. I thought it was full, so take that out. So trying to be advanced and like be prepared for y'all, and I just scooped it up completely. Let me go get the one that's actually going to work. My bad. My bad. This one. This was the first one. I'm gonna go back to this, right? Because why not? Take this off. Okay, and we will redo the little taggy things later. So this is the one. This is a 4x6, so I'd be able to put anything that is insect, blah blah blah, would go there. Then this would be like, oh, this would be my little set for whimsy, right? That'll go there. Then I have this one, which was folded element. So, you know, that could go on this side over here. And, you know, I just would take corrugated cardboard, you know, maybe I put that one over here. So is it thematic? Maybe not, because, you know, I got this one here. So this is numbers and animals and whatever. Maybe I go and I stick that bad boy up in here. Okay, so these are all decorated. So far, I've got 2 comfortable in there. Because with positive paragraphs, I do the tag challenge. I do 3. And I use the large, the small, whatever, like that. So I have this, which to me screams whimsy. This has a movable element. So my whimsy is over here, because this is a image from Aesop's Fable. Okay, so it has that, to me, whimsy. This is interactive. I don't have a slot for interactive. You know what? Let me put it right here under this little mini belly band that I have going on right there, so I can add another layer and stuff. So you know what, I need to organize all of this. Here's another one that I did. I forgot what the prompt was. It's not whimsical, whatever. Again, I'm gonna put it here, right? Now some of you may say, oh, why don't you just like, you know, just put it in the file folder thing, whatever. I don't want them flying around. I don't want them falling out. If I take a folder out, is it going to fall out? You know, all of that. So did I use up all my extra large ones? Yes, I did. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now I'm going to go to the one that holds smaller tags, right? So again, it's going to hold, and when I want to see what it is, I could just pop it out and look. I could take the whole folder out, right? It's going to be a little more flat, a little more spread vertically this way. So let's see. We have our, again, everything slides everywhere because studio. 3x6s, right? So I set them up like this, right? Gave myself a little more space. So again, florals, I put this in the wrong spot. Something's off. I did something incorrect, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put a bunch of tags in here just to give you a sense of the idea. Now I think it'll work. I think it needs some tweaking, right? Some adjustments or whatever. But for the most part, I think it could be a system that could work. I'm hoping that it's gonna work for me space-wise. And then when I actually, oopsie, and then when I actually get to, how do you call it, use them, you know, and start putting together journals. Oopsie, sorry. Did I tilt you? Yes. Putting journals and stuff together, then I will be able to kind of, you know, have a go-to system. So now those are all in place, right? So they're kind of sort of visible. Right now I'm not worried about these because they're so one-off. But they weren't part of the mask make in this particular instance, right? So yeah, so then this is the 2.5 by 5. These guys are actually 2 by 4, I think. So these will work here. So I will just pop them in to one of the pockets, right? Again, if I want to categorize and put like whimsy and this and that and, you know, whatever it's going to be, because I need to, you know, stack them up a little bit more, then I can totally do that. Let's see, did I do this pocket correctly? Okay, I did this pocket correctly. You know, I got my little button one here. Got my little corrugated whatever. I forgot what this one was for. But again, look up my Test Me Tuesday challenge things that I do. These are once a month at the end of the month. I do them, and I do the 2025 and 2026 prompts at the same time. So there should have been one that came out, I think, the 30th of April recently. Anyway, so that would be done. Okay, now maybe that looks like, what is she doing? Who cares? It's not whatever. Give me a second. I may need help. No, I got it. Okay. Guys, this is everything that I've been working on since the year started with this channel of junk journaling. This is the bin that I'm talking about. I mean, like, can you see? Can you see? It's crazy. And these are the things that I have, like the mass making of it all. So I want all of this, ow, finger. I want all of this to get more organized. So that's why I have all my categories, right? So I have tags, I have envelopes, I've got journal cards. So what I want to do is I want to go through. The idea book might have to be on pause, but these are the elements that I need to organize, the stuff that I've been making with you guys and whatnot. And so I really want to be able to utilize them. I'm not, you know, building a bazillion junk journals. And you know, I'm building my channel. And guys, if you're watching me consistently and you're subscribed and whatever, and you're enjoying what I do and you're sharing my video and helping me to build a channel, then when I hit 5, I want to give back. So I'm gonna take, when I have a mass make, that's a lot, right? Like this one. I have so many of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna take 5 of them, and if I can get to 500 earlier than 4th of July, then probably 10 of them. But I still have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them. There might be other ones tucked in there. So these are journal cards. I'm gonna have to put them into journal cards. These are tucks. I didn't get a thing yet for tucks. Here's a handmade envelope. So I have a thing for that. Like this is a paper envelope with a pocket. I have a lot of different categories, and all of this needs to be accessible, right? So I want to organize because, you know, show what the real, right? We're making stuff and we have to be able to get to it. So that's what's happening. So I have a category of, let's see here. I know I put something here that had to do with if there were people because people may not be for everybody. I had to get used to doing this whole, what's it call it? Oh my God, the words, they do not want to come out to my mouth. Where is it? This is what I'm saying. I don't know what anything is. Is there one on this side? Maybe it's on this side. That's why I didn't see it. Yeah. So I have one that says decorated clusters with people. So this is not a cluster, right? So I will have a journal one that says journal cards, right, with people, meaning these little guys or any kind of photographs that I've gotten. So I would again take my these are probably way too big, but I can't put them here, but I can still put them here, right? And we will tuck, oh, this is tissue paper, no, tea bags paper, I think, right? To I just want to see. 3, right? Possibly 4 can fit comfortably, right? I would have to fix that down. Okay. And so there would put all my people would go into one that said 4 journal cards with people. So as I dig back into my stash, I'm going to see which of these I have to make. So obviously, if it's a journal card and it's a 4x6, I probably would have it maybe a 3-inch pocket so that it holds a little more stable. But I would still be able to stagger it. So this is what is I'm trying to show you guys. I can't have you sit here with me and do the entirety of this because this video would be like 17 days long. So I'm just gonna, have like, okay, so what's this? These are journal cards, basically. Florals, nothing too, fancy or anything like that. So I would need to find where the journal cards. These are pockets with windows that I had made on the channel. I need a folder to kind of have a description of pocketed journal cards, right? Or pockets with windows, basically. I forgot. I think this, I don't know who it's from. I know it's written down someplace because I keep all that information. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm all over the place because there's so much that I'm doing, throwing in the box, right? So like, for example, right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 stays with me and maybe these 5 go to the subscriber happy mail that once I reach 500, right? I don't know how many items would be good because I also have other things other than the stuff that I created. So I'm thinking somewhere around maybe 10, 15 items that I've created from my stash. They're not necessarily going to be all exactly the same. So when I reach the level, then I will pull out items from my system, hopefully, and start creating little bundles, and then creating little bundles from the other stuff that I have. And yeah, share stuff with you guys because you've been supporting me and stuff. So I will say that, I mean, this video is all over the place, and I hope that, it's serving multiple one. I'm tired. I've been making stuff like forever. That make was like super easy to make those folder little pockets, right? It's just about figuring out what the pockets are, what you kind of need, right? For the items that you have. So like if I'm literally just sticking my hand in there and pulling things out. Look, I have another large tag that's floral. I have these beautiful tags that I made. They have people on them, right? So I need one that has like where people are. These are journaling, narrow journal cards, with people on them. So I feel like if I want to have people, I should have something specifically for people, right? More journal cards here. Oh, this is my familia. My daughter was so upset when I cut down the picture and used it. And I was like, well, it's my picture and there's my little baby. She's 18. So I got stuck in here. Look, when I made these were a Roxy's challenge, right? I had to make these bags out of tissue paper. So this is a handmade bag. I actually have a tab for that. So let's see, handmade envelopes. Where is it? Handmade envelopes, where is it? No, handmade envelopes. Some to be decorated, which most of my stuff is already decorated. So I'm gonna switch that out, right? So I have handmade envelopes. Let's see if these pockets will work. And if they don't, I bought like 60 of these file holders for $5 off of somebody on Facebook Marketplace. Thank you, Frank. I don't think you don't know who I am, but his name is Frank. Yeah, so I would go in here and I would take my envelopes. Now these are very not flimsy, but they're flimsy, but flimsy has such a negative connotation. They're very soft, let's say. This is another Roxy's creation, which is an envelope. Where is it? Oh my goodness. Oh, the pocket is up here, right? So this would go into a folder that has pocket, right? But then I would be able to pull one of these and add them to the giveaway. The thank you for being a friend of it all. So, right? Look, this is another set of pockets that I did. There's so much. I need a folder that holds just pockets. So when I'm looking for it, and that's what's gonna happen. So, I mean, look at this. This is a pocket, right? It's made out of music paper. All I did was glue a thing, and it's gonna be right there on an edge, right? So you'll have a decorative edge on one side, and you'll have the flip out pocket on the other. I know, guys, it's all over the place. I'm all over the place. So here's our envelopes, right? So all I need, all I'm gonna do is, there are several different sizes. So we've got these longish ones, right? And so with this one, it was just like glassine, decorating glassine bags. I didn't have glassine bags, so I had to make my bags. So we have these, right? So I would just, this is a double pocket. I would just put some in here, right? And then some more here. So I would put some more in here on this one because they're kind of long, but there's space for that. Maybe not enough space. Wasn't paying attention, but again, I had the idea of what I've been making. And yeah, so I'll readjust or open up another thing, set up another set of what do you call it? Pockets. Right, here we go. So I have that. So now I have these guys filled with handmade envelopes that have already been some decoration. I'm sure I'll find more. I had one before. So yeah, so guys, I'm just like really just going, I'm gonna be having to go through this little by little. And that was my idea for May, is to kind of get myself like situated, right? Because I have so much. What is this? Oh my Jesus, look at this. The envelope that was in there, they're sacks. I made all these sacks for another challenge. So guess what? They need to go into where I had the sacks. I knew I made them, but hello, they're in this. You know, I'm stumbling on them because it's everywhere. But you know what? You'll get a stack, part of the bag. This was made from cicada paper, so it's very like loosey-goosey, kind of flimsy, like I was saying. But I think it's so much fun. And you could glue it down completely. If you don't want to, I made one that was an envelope like that too. You can put a piece of card or whatever, an additional something inside to make it a little more rigid. You know, I did it on the flap versus the front. Here it's on, I don't know, do you call this the front and that's the back? So here is that. So now I have all of these guys. Is it in the same one? I don't think it's in the same one. What the hell is this? Oh my goodness. No, I had another one that said something about sacks. So I have some of these that are envelopes, so I will separate. I'll put the envelopes over there with that, and then I'll take all of these that are just straight up like sacks like this and just put them together. So guys, finding my floor is taking some time, but trying to come up with processes, you know, to kind of help with this. I don't know if I said it like that. Processes, I don't know. I know that other countries, they say that word differently, and I don't know if it's just like, you know, one of those things where you say it and like, wait, is that the way it sounds? Because you've heard it in many different ways in your ear. So yeah, so there's that. Then I had done some cards at one point in time, right? Because I was setting them for crafting. So I have cards that are already made. They probably won't go in the envelope, but I need a spot for all these cards to be. So if I need a card, I have it. You make a card. It's still good for, you know, ink it a little bit more, put it into the journal, and it's a tip, you know, a tip out, right? Or tip in, or whatever the case is, however that works. You can put this side with the decoration, right? Make it a pocket on the edge of a journal, and then the other side tips out, right? You can decorate this side as well. If I don't see the things, I'm not going to know the things, I'm not going to do the things, and now, you know, I need to organize, because I'm really, really enthusiastic about this hobby. I love to share, I love to teach, and I want to enjoy the little things. And I want to be more, what's the word? Like, I know where everything is. I don't know, like, I don't know if there's a word for that. So Anyhow, I'm gonna let you go because this has already been almost like a longish video for not a lot of something, but you did get a make out of it. You did get a make because this idea of how to store stuff when you don't have the bins. Get yourself some file folders off of, Marketplace. Make pockets, right? You can measure everything. Maybe you have standards that you stick to, and make pockets and just put your stuff like this, and this is gonna hold a decent amount depending upon the thickness. You can just stagger 2-inch all the way up. Now this is bigger than the 12. This is 6. I could have done the whole 12, but I didn't want to have that middle section like kind of like loose or something. So you could put one stream of glue, true, but I preferred this, and then that way there's 2 sides that are holding these components, whatever's in here, and 2 sides of glue that is holding these 2, right? So yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this. Like this is the envelopes, right? Hold up. So as I come across things, because I just been digging my hand into the thing. That's an envelope. That's an envelope. Envelopes. Envelope. These are handmade. Delicate. That's the word. Delicate. That's the word. That's the better connotation word, right? Than flimsy. It's just delicate, right? Now they're kind of big because I forget what size paper, but you can probably find the video. It's one of those Rachel Weeks, Rachel from Roxy's Creation, her mask make weekly mask makes, and yeah, so it's not gonna fit. So you know what? Then I'm gonna need to adjust, right? Here's how I would adjust. I will get another piece of paper, right? Doesn't fit. Sorry, you can't even see what I'm talking about. It doesn't fit in here, right? I'll be struggling. But if this is my envelope thing, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take another piece of paper. I'm gonna cut it a little bit longer. I'm gonna straddle it across these 2 pockets. Glue here, not over there. Glue here, not over there, and the bottom. And that'll make another pocket that will fit, and I could just place those in there. And I could still access that pocket, this pocket, and this pocket, right? So if I put a piece straddling, I can still get behind here and here and here and here, right? Because I'm not gluing any of that down. I'm just gluing on the front here another piece that will hold this size, right? Or maybe I turn it this way and I hope that makes sense. I'm so like, maybe I should go do it right now, find a piece of paper. But anyway, so this is my finding my floor for May. This is gonna happen every Friday. I'm gonna bring some kind of strategy that I'm coming up with on how I store things, how I keep a little bit organized, finding new ways to do it, and the ways that I already have, and I'm just like fixing them up. And I fall on the wayside of keeping track of certain things, so I have a system, but then gotta get myself on point, because you know what, May is working this and that, whatever. June's coming, and then July and August I want to have a fun. I want to have the whole time, just more. Maybe I will go past the 100 days. I don't know if I'll take a break. Maybe I'll do 100 days project round 2 and just keep going. I don't know. But I hope that you've gotten something out of this, and you consider subscribing if you are new, because you're following me through the Finding My Floor hashtag, and you share the video, and we support each other in terms of creators, and I've been having that lovely support from Cindy and from Candy, who originated that hashtag. And so I want to not perpetuate, that sounds weird. I want to keep the hashtag going. I want to make sure that it's out there and that it hasn't fallen to the wayside. I did 1 or 2 videos on it, but this month I'm going to do every Friday. You're going to find something with me to take off the floor, so to say, figuratively speaking. So now I'm going to let you go. I have to zip these videos together and put it out before midnight so that I made it to the May 1st video for my 100-day project. So tomorrow I have something else. I forgot what it is. I think it's already uploaded. It might not be, so you might get a late video tomorrow, but it will be a May 2nd video. Plus, it's my brother's birthday, so not that I'm gonna hang out with him or anything like that, but I gotta also remember to reach out to him. And coming on the 3rd, I believe it's my full-on journal flip through of Dahlia's Kit, Enchanted Dreams, from Mandalay Creations, right? Card. I'm so sorry, Dahlia. My brain. Here's the thing. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. I went to work with teenagers for 7 hours. I had to drive home for 3 hours almost because of traffic and the lovely Long Island, etc. It's almost 10. I gotta get this video done. So, with a little grace, I shall say, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. If you're new, subscribe. If you've been here, thank you so much for the support. Awesome. Yeah, you'll get another video tomorrow. So, until then, ciao, ciao. Bye.